All right, everybody. Thank you so much for coming. Today is Wednesday, August the 22nd, 2018, and I am really excited. Tonight we have an amazing speaker. We have our new coach. She hasn't been a coach for 2 months. She signed up June 25th of this year. Her name is Michelle Newell. Is that how you say your last name, Michelle?
Yeah, Newell.
Newell. And she is just blown it out of the water, you guys, and she's having fun. She is a mom of two, and I'm going to let her tell her story a little bit more, but she also homeschools, which is, you guys that have kids, you know, that is a huge commitment, and she's still working her business. So we're going to do an interview style call tonight. I'm going to interview her. If you have questions, I will open it up at the end for questions, but go ahead and also type them in the chat and I will ask them. But I think it's always nice to be able to get that perspective from somebody that is just getting started. And you guys, the key with Michelle is that she's taking action. She's not waiting. And so if you get anything from this call, just get this, that you don't have to have all the answers to get started. You can get started from wherever you are. So, all right, Michelle, will you tell us a little bit about your background and what brought you into Team Beachbody as a coach?
Sure. So I am actually a professional photographer. I've been doing that for about 11 years. And in 2016, we have a 9-year-old daughter who's our biological daughter. And then in 2016, we decided to pursue adopting and doing an international adoption. And so during that time, I started to pull back on my photography career, and I have a studio in town, but I knew that once our little guy was home, I needed to be able to be home with him and my daughter for the majority of the time. So I started pulling back, but at the same time, I think it was in 2014, I found myself just sitting on my bum a lot, doing a lot of editing, and I needed an at-home fitness program, and that is when I started doing P90X3. And so I literally just started sharing my journey on Instagram. I wasn't a coach, and in fact, I had a friend who was a coach, and so I just started sharing my journey. And a journey is just like, I'm a mom, I'm a busy mom, I run a photography business, and this was right before we started homeschooling, and I needed a physical outlet. So I started working out, and I started just sharing that on Instagram, mainly just to motivate other moms that you do have 30 minutes to work out, and you do have 30 minutes to devote to yourself for health and wellness. So during those 4 years, I was just sharing my journey on Instagram, and people would message me and they're like, oh my gosh, I started P90X3. I'm like, great, that's so awesome. Yay for you. And I would just cheerlead them on. And you know, I would send them to my friend, and I'd be like, go to my friend and she can sign you up and you can do this. And I was like, I'm just, enjoying my journey. And then my friend Samantha, who we go to church with, together with, she started kind of going, Michelle, you really need to be a coach. And this was right before we went to China, and then shortly after when we came home. And we've only been home for 9 months with our son. And I had been debating on becoming a coach. I wasn't sure. I didn't know what it entailed. I didn't have a lot of time, and needed to be able to devote my time to my kids. And she kept saying, my good friend and now coach, Samantha Cotton, kept saying, Michelle, you're already coaching. You're just not getting the perks of coaching. You're sharing your journey, and you are basically signing people up because they're doing it, but you're not reaping the benefit of it. And so I followed her journey at Summit, which was, it lit a fire in me. I was like, okay, I'm doing this. And I texted her while she was at Summit. I said, okay, sign me up. When do you get home? And so as soon as she got home, she signed me up. And honestly, it's just been, it's just been about sharing my journey and where I've been. But what's really great is from going from a really, really fast-paced photography world where my weekends were booked, my week was booked, and tons of my time was being sucked up into editing and shooting, which I absolutely love and I'm passionate about. But I wanted my life back and I wanted my time back. So that's kind of a little gist of my story.
That's awesome. So when was the first time that Samantha actually asked you to coach? Do you remember? Like how long before?
Oh man. I know, gosh, maybe a couple months. It's probably like 6 months prior. It was shortly after we came home from China, and it was still during last year's school year. So I want to say it was like probably January. We were just chit-chatting. Our kids go to a Bible study at church called Awana. And we were talking, and I started just kind of nibbling and asking her questions. I'm like, okay, so what are you doing? Because I had somebody who had had me try and do a different kind of multi-tiered business, and it ended up being a really negative experience for me. And so I was really hesitant about doing another one. And so Samantha and I just started having little conversations, and then she'd come over and I'd ask her some more questions. So it probably was about 6 months prior to signing up is when we first started having conversation.
And then how often did she follow up with you? Do you remember?
Every time we'd see each other. She's like, so when are you going to sign up? You really need to do this. And I'm like, I know. And I'd send her text messages and I'd ask her more questions, and we'd Facebook each other when we'd see each other. And it was always in the back of my mind, because it's like, why am I not doing this? Why am I so worried about it? And as soon as I saw her at Summit and we said go, it more became a part of, okay, so what do I do? And she's like, just share your story. Mm-hmm. And so that's what I did. I've been doing P90X3 for such a long time. And I was already sharing my story and already just sharing my journey of really the story is work out, get off your butt, go work out, spend 30 minutes for yourself. I run a busy life. We all do. I think the word busy has become this like new tagline of, how are you doing? Oh, I'm busy, which is great. Good for you. We all are. And so that was an excuse that I heard a lot from a lot of moms on Instagram and just friends in general. And so I started taking that whole I'm too busy and using that as a part of my, marketing, that you're not too busy. And so I think I just got sidetracked from the question that you asked, but
you know what? I think that's good, because I think, first off, I want to make sure that you guys hear 2 points from what she just said. There's a lot of good stuff in there. The first thing is Samantha asked her 6 months ago before she signed up, and continued to follow up with her.
Yeah.
And obviously, you guys, it did not scare her away. It was always in the back of her mind. And so, Michelle, do you think you would have signed up had she stopped following up with you?
Probably not, because it was the fact that Sam was not afraid to have the conversation with me is what made me keep doing it. And she didn't do it in a pestering way where it was like, Michelle, you need to sign up. This is really important for you. It was just more like, Michelle, this is your journey, and you're already doing it. You're already doing what you love. So why not just share your story and inspire other people? And just, when I launched and started sharing my journey and kind of just doing that first initial, like, okay, I'm doing this program. I'm working out at home. I've been doing this for 4 years. You've got time, right? And I just shared that initial journey. The amount of people that messaged me and said, I've been following your story on Instagram for the last blah, 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 how many years or how many months. And just hearing those positive experiences and those conversations started the ball rolling. And even now, it's like when I first did my first post, and so that was 2 months ago when I launched, I'm still getting messages from people saying, okay, I think I'm going to drop my gym membership and I want to try this. And so it's just not being afraid to send them another message and just say, hey, how you doing? Like, how are you enjoying your gym membership? Are you getting there?
That's awesome. I love it. And you guys, also the second point I want you to hear is that she took what most people's excuses are, which is being busy, which I was in, I just got back from Hawaii, and I was sitting with a bunch of coaches, and I'm like, I hear this all the time, but honestly, when was the last time we were bored? Like, unless you're a teenager or you're like retired, you don't really get bored. I cannot remember the last time I was bored. So we all have the same 24 hours in the day, but it's what we do with it. And if you wait till you're not busy, you are not going to ever be able to take care of yourself, because it's just the way it is. If you have a family, children, a job, anything, dogs, cats, we all get in that mindset. So what Michelle did is she's taken the excuse that everybody has and really, she said, you're marketing that. That's what you're addressing in your post. And that's what people need to hear. And by her being organic and sharing her and authentic and sharing her story and putting herself out there, look at all the people she's inspiring. Because you got Success Club 30 in July,
Yeah.
Is that correct? Okay. That was her first month.
Yeah. And Sam kept messaging me, and she's like, you're at SC16. I'm like, I don't know what that means. Is that good? And so I honestly, I'm still figuring out the whole Success Club thing. But my biggest thing when I started this was, I'm going to share my journey. I'm going to share my story. I'm going to share what works for me. And I'm not going to share people I don't know, because when people are constantly having an interaction with you on a daily basis, and you run into somebody at the park and they've seen your post, like this happened to me last week. I'm there and I forgot I had done a post, and it was literally just me flexing, I mean, how awkward and lovely is that? It's like, hey, Mom, here's my guns, but this mom came up to me, and she had been one of my clients, and she's like, Michelle, I really want your arms, and I'm like, you got to try this program. It's Lift For. It's awesome, and it's just this starting of a conversation. But the biggest thing for me when starting this, and it's one of those things, is you just have to be willing to share. And you don't have to do this deep, long post of, emotional needs. It's just like, I got my 30 minutes in, I feel great. I was with my kids. They were driving me crazy, or I've had a really busy day. Like yesterday, I was having an emotional day and I needed a workout. And so I went and worked out, and I shared that. It's like, what's better for a mood than burning it off with sweat? And it's the biggest thing that I've learned throughout my 11 years of being an entrepreneur and being a photographer is be authentic, be real, be genuine, and share your story. Because even as a photographer, when I would meet with wedding clients, they don't want something that's just stale and marketable, right? You can get that at a used car lot. So what are you going to do to connect with people in a real and authentic way that makes them go, I want to hang out with you. I want to do what you're doing. And especially when it comes to fitness, it is such a broad thing. You can have so many people who look and have so many different body types and be physically fit. So for me, it's not saying you have to fit into my little box of fitness. And if you don't lose this amount of weight, or if you don't look like this, you're failing. It's not about that. It's about being in a community of people and encouraging each other and saying, how's your day going? Go for a 30-minute walk, or go press play. Like, the hardest part about a workout is standing up and pressing play on your button and getting your workout in. And the more that you do that, and I found for me, like, Instagram stories is one of the big areas that I love. Facebook stories, that area, is where I love really getting people's attention. And that's where you see people watching you. And then all of a sudden, those ping little side comments start happening. And you see you see people saying, I saw your story today and I went and worked out. And right there is a window and a door to have a conversation with somebody and say, so what are you doing?
So
Go ahead.
So when you're posting in your stories for Instagram and Facebook, what are you sharing in your stories?
So I'll share like some certain moves from a workout. So if I'm doing lift 4, or let me back up. When I was doing P90X3, I would show that you can gain strength by using bands. So a lot of people look at bands and they think, you're not going to be able to gain strength with bands. And I would show people like the proper way of doing it, like how you connect it into your door and how you do a pull up. And I would show them my progress of how I use that to be able to actually do a real pull up. And, or I would show like a picture of my feet, and it would be something like I'd use a text and just say, get up, you've got 30 minutes, go work out, right? It's not being afraid to be blunt and not being afraid to just kind of tell it like it is, but you're still being nice, right? It's kind of like when I'm going to reference photography a lot because that's my world. But when I would work with bridal clients, it's like, okay, so apart from you on your wedding day, I'm the other most important person today. So, it's making a presence and not being afraid to show confidence in what you're doing. So in my posts, I would show like little snippets of me working out. And then I would show like my workout equipment or my post-workout shot or a flex shot and just say, I got my 30 minutes in. And I would use a lot like hashtags like Mama's Recess, and especially since we homeschool, I need that break. And I need that break to be able to just go, okay, this is my recess and you're going to have yours. And you can sit in here and watch me do my recess or, go have quiet time and do yours. So I would use that a lot because as moms, we tend to give all of our energy to our family and we are last in line. And so I would also use that information that it's not being selfish to take time for yourself. You have 30 minutes to close out and say, okay, everybody, this is my time. And now mommy gets to rejuvenate, because you can better serve people. You can better love people when you first are taking care of yourself. I used this analogy, I think on Instagram earlier this week, where when you're on an airplane and they talk about the oxygen masks that come down, what do they tell you to do first? They say, first mask yourself and then help the person next to you, because it's not going to help you if you've passed out and you're trying to put oxygen on somebody else, right? So taking care of yourself first, which isn't selfish, to be able to take care of your family in a healthy way is really important. So I would use that a lot. And I still use it. And I use it within text. And if I find like motivational words, I use that. And then I'll still talk about fitness.
Love it. Are you, so now with homeschooling, so you have your daughter you're homeschooling, and then you also have your son who you adopted. And he, and so I know that you have a lot going on during the day, and I'm assuming you don't put them in childcare to work your business.
No.
So, especially since I saw you with a post with your laptop out where your daughter was having a lemonade stand sale. So, can you share how you are working your business with the schedule you have? And I know that you said photography's on the back burner, but you still do have that business.
Yeah. So I still do shoots occasionally. And with my photography business, I was very rigid, right? I would sit down and I'd have my set times to work. Now with our son and our addition, and he's a very, very busy 2-year-old, which is awesome. And he's got lots of lovely energy. Finding those times and pockets can be different. So when I'm working out, they're either out playing out in the yard, or the day that you saw me with the lemonade stand, it was like, here's a tub of water, play. And I'm going to sit here and I'm going to just send out a couple messages. I think the thing that I'm learning, especially with Beachbody, is it's not complicated. Like at night, if you don't have to have like a set hours of like, 7 a.m. till 5 p.m. that you're working. It's literally like today during his nap time, I spent about 30 minutes sending out messages and answering questions from people. And then today while doing dinner, I'd get a couple other messages and I'd reply to those. And then right before this call, I had about 10 minutes to kill. So I was going in and sending friend requests and adding people to my, my market. And so it's not overcomplicated at all. It's really just a matter of building that community of people and going in and just making things happen. I mean, it's not, that's the part that Sam really had to drill into me, because being a photographer and a business mind, I had this mentality that I had to go in and have my business plan all set up, and I had to have my goals. And granted, I have those, like I have ideas and stuff, but it wasn't a matter of, it's a totally different mindset of crushing it, I guess. It's way more simple. And she had to help remind me that, Michelle, it's not complicated, and when it comes to just, when it comes to time, my time is spent like during nap time or my daughter's quiet time. I wake up early. So I'm up by around 5:45, and I get up and I'll just start sending some messages then. So I really don't spend more than maybe like 40 minutes a day doing it. I mean, there might be a little bit more time if I'm replying to messages, but it's not as hard as it seems. It's just a matter of, I think the hardest part of Beachbody is sharing your story. And if you can get over yourself and especially me, because I still get nervous. I'm like, oh, people are going to think I'm so whatever. But just sharing your journey, there's so many people that you don't realize you're motivating, especially the 4 years that I wasn't a coach and I was building somebody else's business, which was yay for them. Enjoy it, But at the same time, I have to go back to that mindset of, I shared my journey because I wanted to motivate other women, mom, and men as well, that you have 30 minutes to work out. And out of just that sharing, the conversation start. But literally, I mean, maybe 40 minutes a day, that max that I'm, legitimately sending messages and whatnot.
So did you wait to get started and make sure you had all the answers before, sending invites and friends?
Oh, no.
Did you know what you were doing?
I had no clue what I was doing. In fact, I feel so bad for Samantha because I sent her so many messages. Like, I'm messing this up. I sent the wrong link. I don't know what I'm doing. I was just send it was. She's like, take a deep breath. Like, just, I mean, I signed up on June 25th, and I'm pretty sure that same day I posted a before and after picture. And from that before and after picture, people started commenting, and even Jenny Hobbs, my upline, she and Sam both like held my hand and basically just said, don't overcomplicate it. Like, all those people that are constantly liking your post, those are people that you can invite. And I'm like, oh yeah, I didn't think about that. Because for me, I was thinking I have to wait till they comment. I have to wait till they actually show some kind of interest. And they're like, no, like, just start inviting people, or just start saying, hey, thanks so much for liking my post. I really appreciate it. Are you doing any kind of fitness program that you enjoy? And just start the conversation. So no, I signed up on June 25th. And I think that same day, if not the next day, I did my first post, and we started going, and it's been fun. It's fun. It's fun sharing.
That's awesome. Well, and look at all the people you have inspired, and, and now you're reaping the benefits of those, and you will continue to. But you guys, the most important thing is not to wait till you have all the answers, because you're actually probably not going to have all the answers.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been a coach for almost 7 years and I know quite a bit, but people still stump me at times. But the thing with this business is just taking action, and it's a very forgiving business. So if you make a mistake and you send the wrong link, you can, be like, oh my gosh, like that was the wrong one. Here's the right one. It's not life or death. And so, but just getting out there and actually and helping people. And because Michelle is being bold and putting herself out there by sharing her journey, she's inspired, because I know you had some people in June, and then you had, SC30 in July, which is 15 people. And then you've got Success Club this month, and all those people that she's getting started, all those moms that are now taking that 30 minutes for themselves, all because she just didn't wait. She just got out there and said, all right, I'm putting the post up. And she was scared. Like I mean, we all are, but that's, what people, they want to see that you're a real person.
Well, and to piggyback on what you're saying, like, there's such a difference with this business than, say, starting your own business. So when I started as a photographer, it was me by myself, figuring it out, faking it until I made it, and literally just building a business from ground zero. Yes, I had people and mentors that I could call on for my photography business, but literally it was just me figuring it out, building a client base. The totally opposite is with Beachbody. You're coming in with a team of people that encourage you and that you can rely on, and that you can say, hey, how did you reply to something like this? And so you're not doing it alone. And that's one of the things I really love about this, is it's such a community base, and it's such a team base, and it's just really fun to be able to do that. I know, like Sam and I, we've had play dates after, and we sit and we collaborate and we talk about how to do social media marketing. And I love social media marketing, and I love the concepts behind it, and I've done it for a really long time. And so we collaborate on that. And then because she's a nurse, she's an amazing nurse and works full-time and does Beachbody, I can contact her and say, hey, I have a client who really wants to do this, but they have this medical need. So what should I, help them? How should I direct them in this program and whatnot? So it's so much more fun to do something as a team and know that you're not alone in it. And to not feel like you have to defeat Mount Everest in one day, because nobody does. I mean, even the best of mountain climbers, you go up, figure stuff out, you have to go back down, acclimate, you go back up, and you keep doing that. And so that's the thing that I love most about this, is that it's a team base.
I love it. And I love that you're having fun. And also, I should point out, I assume that the investment to start this business is a lot less than the investment you made with your photography business. I think, as someone that has owned, we've been entrepreneurs since 2001, and my husband and I have owned a couple different companies, and we've had to invest and at times take out business loans for a substantial amount of money in order to get a business off the ground. And so when you ask someone to invest $160 to $200 in a business, it's not a lot. And plus you get to use what you invest, like you're consuming those products and getting benefit. So it's one thing when you guys are, like looking at this compared to other opportunities. And I know we've got a lot of people that have that background, is also the time, she's able to get her time back, and she had a successful business, but her season of life is different now with having, homeschooling her daughter, and then also having a 2-year-old. I mean, 2-year-olds are a lot of work, and wanting to be present with them. So I just think that you're doing a great job. I know that, I saw this name pop up, and I'm like, who is this? That's Jenny's coach. And I was like, Jenny, is this one of your girls?
So funny.
Sam has been inviting, and I'm like, oh my gosh, because I believe you signed up when we were still pretty much at Summit. Is that right?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my goodness. And so I just want to congratulate you. You have been doing a great job, and I commend you for not waiting and just getting out there and doing it and not, and I think we all have what you're saying is we overcomplicate it in our minds. But at the end of the day, this business is really simple. It's the simple, vital behaviors. And you just, and you guys, that 40 minutes, the reason it takes her 40 minutes is because she's sitting down and doing the work. It's supposed to be a power hour. She's getting hers done in 40 minutes. Some people, it takes 5 hours, and it's because you got to do it. Scrolling the feeds is not working your business.
No.
Putting up a post, sharing your journey like Michelle described, and inviting people and following up with them, that's working your business. And like she said, how many friends did you add in that 10 minutes right before this call?
I think I did about 15, I was just clicking through and then checking a couple messages. And I think doing that power hour has been so huge and such a good, easy mentality, because to not overcomplicate it. Like when I first started, I was like, okay, so how am I going to market this and how am I going to do this? And it's the marketing is already done, right? So if you're working out your marketing, and if you're enjoying doing physical activity, you're already marketing it. And so, but watching Jenny and the Power Hour and doing that has made it so much more simplified. So I go into my homeschool community groups that have like 45,000 people in it, and I find people who I have commonalities with, and I start liking them. And then same with our adoption journey. I'm in a really big China adoption group, and then my son actually has a metabolic disorder called PKU. So his system can't digest an amino acid called phenylalanine. So he essentially can't eat protein, meat, milk, eggs, all that kind of stuff. So, but what's really amazing has been just the amount of vegetables that are now coming into our house. And then taking the 2B Mindset program, I've been watching those videos, and it's just been so awesome to be able to pull all of those things in. So then now I'm able to go into the PKU community, and I can discuss that. And I can go into our adoption and homeschooling and even my photography world. I have 2 separate Instagram accounts. I have my personal Instagram account and I have my photography Instagram account. And so now I'm sharing my journey on my photography Instagram account, because there's a whole lot of photographers who are so busy and put their own physical fitness on hold. And so it's been really fun to be able to tap into all of those different things. So it's finding, like, you like dog walking or you have golden retrievers like Sam does, get into those communities and start adding those people as friends. You have curly hair, get into the curly hair groups like I do, and start, sharing pictures of curly hair after a workout, which is pretty sad and scary. So you just get in there and you just start become known, and don't be afraid to say, hi, I'm Michelle and I have something to share with you.
That's awesome. I love that, Michelle. And I love the point that you brought up. Like, guys, you don't find what, is going on in your life or what you have dealt with. We've all had different things going on. And then, like, I know Sam has toddlers and dealing with toddler, and that's, I have teens, and let me just tell you,
a whole other world.
A 2-year-old I can do, but this
Yeah.
teenage things, and just finding those commonalities with people and going and joining those groups. I know that when we got our dog, we joined, the breed that he is, we joined the group, and just connecting with people on those levels. And you guys, that's what Facebook and Instagram is there for. It's to connect with other people. It's not to just stay over here and be quiet. It's the connection. That's why it was built. I think a lot of people forget that. And if you get rude people, like, we don't get that many, but if you do, did you really want to be friends with someone that's rude? I don't think so. I feel like it does me a favor every time. I'm like, oh, I don't really want to be friends with you. So, and it doesn't happen as often as we assume. So you guys, definitely this was a great call. And one more question. Do you use a tracker?
For my, for all the people I invite? Is that what you're
asking? Are you using like the Win the Week tracker? Do you use that for the Power Hour?
I printed, I don't know who created it, but it was in Jenny's documents. And it says the Business Activity Tracker. looks like that.
Guys, you see that business activity tracker that's in all of your groups?
And so I write down my names of the people that I'm currently having conversations with, and I use that. I like this one because it allows me to write down my goals and then top 3 weekly goals. So it's an awesome little tracker. And then it also has like spots for posts on social media, because I know the biggest thing about social media is if you're not posting every single day, the algorithm will drop you off. So doing, and this isn't just in your Insta stories, this is in doing your actual Instagram post. So I have in mind, like, okay, today, every Sunday I'm going to do a word post, and then every Monday I'm going to do a post about food, and then on Tuesdays I'll do, something different, and then on Fridays maybe I'll flex. I don't know, but it's every day being active on social media. But this tracker, this one is awesome. I really like it, and it's a good way to be able to stay on track. I also have with on Google Drive, all of the people that I have communication with, I write in their name, I write in the date that I've connected with them. So I take the conversations that I'm having weekly, and then that goes into my Google Drive document, because that way, if I am out and about, I have access to my Google Drive on my phone, and I can type in notes. Like I have it all color coded. So it's like, this person said next month, this person is not right now, but I'll have the conversation again. So I use both my weekly tracker, and then my Google is just so I have all their contact information.
That is awesome.
Y'all can find all that stuff on Facebook. So
yeah, and you guys, that stuff's all free. Like, investment, and it works. Like, I use that tracker too. Jenny Hobbs actually created that tracker.
Oh, did she? That's awesome.
Yeah. Beachbody has a tracker, and then she decided to add some more to it and created that one. And people I know that are using that consistently and doing their power hours are having success. And honestly, you guys, you just sit down and you're like, oh, well, I have to do this many friend requests, and just check it off. But using the tracker is to keep you, it's not that you don't know how to do it, it's to keep you on track and show that you're getting it done. Because when you're like, why am I not hitting Success Club? Well, I didn't invite this week, or I didn't post on social media. Kind of blaringly puts it in your face. So,
well, it's like an accountability too. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I know for me, like the days can start and stop, and I'm like, what did I get done? I'm pretty sure I folded laundry today, or especially right now with the summer, it's just so easy to just go and be at the beach or do whatever. And it's nice to be able to go, oh, I didn't do a Facebook feed, and the Facebook feed and Instagram feed can be the same one, because you're hitting 2 totally different markets. And so it's just an easy way to see, what did I do today? Because I don't know about you, but my brain fails often. So
mine does too.
Yeah.
And if I don't have that chart, I'm like, wait, what do I need to do? So I love that. Does anybody have any questions for Michelle? Anything you want to ask her? Anybody? All right. Well, Michelle, do you have anything you want to add? Anything you want to end with?
I would just say, just have fun with it. Like, don't, I guess we've said it 100 times, but don't overcomplicate this. So if you're sharing your story and why the program you chose has changed your life, why go back to the why. So when we started homeschooling, I had somebody said, make a home statement. Like, what's your why? Why did you choose to homeschool? And so on those days where you're like, I don't know why I'm doing this, you can go back to that why, and you go, that's the reason, and it's that mom who said, I have a private just fitness group, and I just said, what are your goals with fitness? And these are people that have joined Beachbody and haven't. And a couple of the moms were like, I want to be able to experience life again with my kids. I'm tired of just watching them live life. I want to do it with them. And so, but if I hadn't just shared my own story, I wouldn't be able to encourage them and say, you can do this, and I'm walking through a mom right now with 2B mindset. And she messaged me today, and she's like, To Be Mindset said, when I feel like I want to quit, I'm supposed to message somebody. So I'm messaging you and you're my accountability. And it's such an amazing, when you stop looking at this, and I guess for me, I'm trying to look at this as personal relationships with people that I get this privilege and opportunity to walk through life with them. And one of the most intimate moments, because you're talking about body image and you're talking about them wanting to improve their health and wellness. So if you take on that moment, like somebody asking me to photograph their wedding, that's such a privilege and an honor. So, and such an intimate moment. So I think going back to that why of why am I choosing to do this helps drive it. And for me, my why is to help moms realize they have time for themselves and that they can do this. I turn 39 next month, and it's like I'm in better shape now at almost 39 than I was in my 20s. And to say, okay, 20-year-olds, let's do this. You want to do some push-ups? Let's see if you can do more.
Exactly, right?
I think the most important thing is going back to your why. Why are you wanting to share this with people? And that helps drive it.
I love it. Michelle, thank you so much for sharing with us tonight. And it's been a pleasure to actually finally get to talk with you. I am like 4 up from you.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I don't think you even know that, but
I don't. I'm still figuring all this out. I'm like, I was on Facebook. I'm like, okay, because that's the wonderful thing about Facebook is you can stalk people.
Yeah. So I actually sponsored Jenny. So
oh, that's awesome. Okay.
Into the business. So yeah.
That's so cool. I love it. And we're all a team helping each other get this done.
Exactly. Then Jenny invited Sam, and then Sam invited you. So, and Jessica is my upline. She's
that's awesome. Okay.
Yeah. So, see you guys. Awesome. If she would have waited to figure all that out, she didn't.
Yeah.
She just went for it, you guys, and that's the cool, amazing part. Yeah. So when I kept seeing your name come across my back office,
who is her? Who is this girl?
So it's so great. And that's what I love about the business is how we come together in this amazing community of supportive, we're supporting each other in our goals, no matter who our upline or sponsors or anybody are, because she agreed to this call. I messaged her. My first message to her was, will you speak on a call? So
I know I was messaging Sam right before. I'm like, okay, I'm totally nervous. And she's like, you're fine. You're a unicorn. I was like, sweet.
I think it's awesome. So you guys, if you, just get out there, know your why, like Michelle said, use a tracker and take action and don't be afraid. And I also, real quick before we go, I know we got to go, but I want to say congratulations to Sam for not backing down and continuing to invite Michelle, because you guys 6 months and Michelle didn't run from her. So that fear we all have of well, they're gonna run from me, and she didn't, you guys. And because Sam was consistent in following up, answered all of Michelle's questions that she had and encouraged her. Now Michelle is changing not only her own life and the life of her family, but also all these other women. And, and I love to say, if you can, if you can change, another person's life, just one person, how incredible is that? Especially a mom, because it changes the entire dynamic of the family. So don't give up. Don't, keep following up with people. My coach followed up with me for months before I said yes as well. And you guys just get on it and take action and do your tracker. So that you can get your power hour done in 40 minutes. All right. All right. Thank you, everybody. Have an amazing night. And I will get this recording up. Make sure you guys let people know on the team page what you thought about the team call, because I truly believe this is a great call for coaches to listen to, especially those of you that are, within your first year of coaching. I think this is so valuable, and to hear from Michelle, and that she didn't signed up and posted a before and after. So voila. And look at her now, you guys. So thank you, everyone. And thank you again, Michelle, and everybody. Have a great Wednesday.
Thank you. You too. Thank you.
Thanks, Michelle.
You're welcome.